Hey everybody, coming to you again. I got another educational video about using the Bluetooth OBD2 adapter in your car so you can gather good data while you're driving. Now I made some modifications to my Jeep here, and I'm coming at you from Blueberry, but what we're talking about here is pulling in data so you can have a better look at what's going on. Now you can see the little insert here. It just is showing the basic screen. Now you can see you can pull codes and you can clear them if you know how to do it on your vehicle, because they're not all the same. There's all kinds of other things it'll do. The map view, the test results, the graphing, then there's other things you can do with it too. But here's now what we're going to do. We're going to get into the real-time information. Now, the Jeep's off right now. It's not running. As you can see, the tach on here is 0. So we can see that it's not running. And just for funsies, see my vacuum is at 1 or 2. It's not changing, so you know it's off. Look at the throttle. I've got it floored now, and it's at 70, almost 77%. The coolant is at 222 degrees at the sensor, and that's just because it's sitting off, so it's the head is cooking the coolant. The intake is at 176. Now, all of these graphs you can customize based on your vehicle. You can customize the size of them. You can customize the formatting of them, how they're all laid out. I have a whole bunch of different things on here. How high we are, how many GPS satellites are working. Depending on your vehicle, multiple things will show up. The charge air something temperature, I can't remember what it stands for. That one shows up when I'm driving my truck with a diesel in it. Here I've got a bunch of O2 sensors to see what they're saying. There's an emission block that's there that will tell you what's going on. Depending on your vehicle, it'll tell you how much fuel is in your vehicle if it's an OBD2 chunk of data. Distance to empty. Again, if your vehicle will do the PIDs, is that what they call them? The OBD2 streams, it'll fill this in for you. My Jeep doesn't do oil temp. That's all those. Let's go back the other way. Get some more screens here. There's volts, and that's at the OBD2 port. Now, I also have here the GPS speed versus the indicated speed by the vehicle. That way I can see how fast I'm really going. It will do a halfway decent job of gathering mileage, both instant and an average. Now, if you put this in multiple vehicles, one of the problems you're going to have is that the average is the average for all your driving. So if you're like me and you have a vehicle that struggles to get 16 miles to the gallon like the Jeep, and then you get into your Honda, which will do 30 plus, it's going to skew the numbers a bit. But, you know, whatever. Let's see. And then again, the intake. It's with the Jeep, it's the intake. I'm concerned about it a lot. And you got more pages you can go to that are blank. You can put a lot of data in here. So my recommendation is to go get one of the Bluetooth OBD2 adapters that I've got listed below. Now here's the thing. You got to get the right one for you. If you're using an Android device, there's one for Android. If you're using iOS, you need to get the right one, because they're pretty specific about which ones they will and won't work with or work for you. So grab the right one. Now, this app is called Torque. See? And if you go look for this on the Play Store, you will find it. And it works great. There's a free version, which is prohibited in some functions. I suggest you spend the $5 or whatever it is and get the, the Pro version, and then you're good. because then you don't have to worry about any of the data not coming through. It works pretty slick. I think you should get one. I have 3. I have 1 in each vehicle. It's not difficult to change them. Really, all you have to do is keep track of which OBD2 sensor. And here, I'll just show you. When you look at the settings, OBD2 adapter settings, choose Bluetooth device, and it will bring up all the Bluetooth devices that are currently paired with my phone. Now, I happen to have memorized now that 66 is the Jeep, A1 is my truck, and 7E is my Honda. I just know that because I've had to change them back and forth so many times. But if you change it, it should, and you can see this. Let me get back to the right screen. You see at the top of the screen there, it's got the satellite, the phone, the little one that says BT, which is the Bluetooth adapter, and then the vehicle. When it's starting up, they'll flash until they actually are connected. When they're connected, then they're good, and all the data comes on. So now what we'll do, we've been sitting here for a while, and let's go back to the real-time data. And let's go back to, my intake. The intake IAT sensor is picking up 190 degrees inside the intake, which is pretty typical for a Jeep. And since the mower's coming here, I'm going to start driving, and you can see how this all changes. If I can figure out where I put my sunglasses. So I'm a genius sometimes. Here we go. So now you see we've got numbers on the on the tach. Coolant's coming down. Intake's coming down slowly. For all of you TJ people, I have the oil pressure sensor issue that we all have for a while. But at least I don't have any, my check engine light's off, because I can fix it. Oh, by the way, if you have a vehicle that needs work occasionally, this thing can save you big money. It's going to cost less than 20 bucks to get the adapter and the app. And once you've got it, you're good. You don't have to worry about somebody fixing your vehicle for you. Let's go for a little drive. Moving around a little bit. You see how on each of the dials, there's a little blinking, I think it's red, I don't know, I can't tell. There's a little blinking light there. That tells you that it's getting data, so you know which ones are working and which ones aren't. When you want to go and add a new gauge, dial, whatever, input, all you have to do is push and hold on the screen, and it will say, or it will give you the option of adding a display. And then it will just walk you through it. It's really easy to set up. Really, getting one of these is as simple as plugging it in, pairing the Bluetooth adapter to your phone. You gotta do that first, and then starting the app. You've gotta set the app up. There's a little bit of work to do setting up a vehicle. It's not that complicated. If you're halfway decent with a computer, this will be a cakewalk for you. So don't worry about that. Now just remember, if you grab the one at the link below, it is an affiliate link. So I get a little, these things are so cheap, I don't really make any money on them. It just keeps Amazon happy because I'm moving something. So, check it out. I tried to get on the Google thing with apps, and it's so complicated I couldn't figure it out. And I just kind of let it go. So, when you get time, go look at it. And if you're a car person, oh, here, let me back up a second. This all started because at one point, I wanted to see what my intake air temperature was. And I have a more expensive OBD2 reader, but it's a pain in the butt because it's got the cable and the whole thing. It is not convenient to use like this. This just sits there, and for now, like I'm doing with you, you want to record the data? You can record the data and see what's going on. So then you know what the issues are, if any, with your vehicle. Thinking about getting a cold air intake? Well, if you don't know what your IAT is at any point in time, you probably should figure that out before you go blowing the $200 on the intake. Because it may not be necessary. Now, there are some vehicles that buying a cold air intake is just throwing your money away. So before you throw away $200+, go and get one of these, spend $20, get one, and then see what your real data is. All right, I'm gonna stop jawing at you. I'm gonna try not to cause a car accident. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Have a nice day. By the way, if you have any questions, oh, and the whole like, subscribe, notifications, whatever, sure, whatever. You're adults. Whatever. The thing I really want you to think about is not because I'm making any money on it, because I see this as a real valuable tool that most car people could really use. Just make sure you get the right one for Android or iOS, depending on your environment. So, go below, check them out, do what you're gonna do. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'm more than happy to talk about stuff. Either way, have a nice day. Hopefully your weekend is beautiful. Take care. Or wait, I'm supposed to say this. Cheers.